That will bring out Rob Fuch in the first blood Ford, the young independent from Illinois who qualified in the number 2 position. But we've just received some interesting news from the pit area. Fuch is Marty Garza's brand new rear-engined overkill Ford. Now, if you remember during the Overkill's qualifying run, it sounded like the truck was suffering from fuel delivery problems right off the starting line. We've just found out that apparently there were more than those problems back in the pits, and Marty Garza has elected to withdraw from competition. But that brings up an interesting situation to hand for Rob Fuch. Right now, he has a rare opportunity to make a run against the clocks and try and find the 0.2 of a second that separates the first blood Ford from Kurt Fischer in the Micro Machine Chevrolet. Remember, it was Fischer who put down that 3.77 second qualifying run that led the field by almost 0.2 of a second. And now Fuch has got to be concerned about that lack of performance compared to the current leader. Fuch inches forward to stage. He'll take the green. Rather conservative off the starting line for Rob Fuch, but the elapsed time a surprising 4.26 seconds. That's the slowest run he's made in this event so far. And that will pose an interesting situation for this young man. Kurt Fischer, the new kid on the block, as they are calling him, in the Micro Machine Chevrolet of veteran John Breen from Missouri. Now, he'll have a chance to see what he can produce because, as we pointed out earlier, Bennett Clark in the Clydesdale Chevrolet suffered severe breakage during his qualifying attempt, and we knew ahead of time he most likely would not be making the first round of competition. With no other alternates available, Fischer will get a single run into the semifinals like Rob Fuch, but it will be interesting to see Chevrolet on this run to the 4.26 second run just laid down by Rob Fuch. The kid checks the gauges, gives the thumbs up sign. He's ready to take the green. And a beautiful run, easing it off the starting line. The elapsed time, 4.06 seconds. Yes, indeed, it did slow down from his qualifying run, but he still puts a 0.2 of a second cushion between himself and the first blood entry as they go to the semifinal round. And we'll see a couple of interesting pairings in that particular round of competition, including Kurt Fischer, the Micro Machines, against the legendary Bigfoot Ford. It will be wild. Don't you dare go away. We're back in the Roanoke, the semifinal round of this U.S. Hot Association Monster Truck War. The final 4 are ready to go, and this matchup alone is worth the price of admission. The Bigfoot Ford of legendary Bob Chandler takes on the Micro Machine Chevrolet that has been the biggest surprise of this event. The new kid behind the wheel, Kurt Fischer, puts the goggles on and gets ready to take on the most famous truck in motorsports history. John Pyatt backs up to the starting line over the 4-foot-high dirt moguls that sit only a few feet off the ready line. And you have to wonder what's going through this kid's mind. It is first ever U.S. Hot Rod Association National Championship event. Here he is lined up against the all-time killer. Appears to be ready. The machine goes into a forward gear. As the blue Ford moves forward to the ready line, they wait for the green. And the kid gets a huge hole shot and holds it to the finish line. The Bigfoot Ford tried to come on hard, but couldn't make up the difference. That race was won strictly on the starting line ability of young Kurt Fischer. Incredible upset. Even though the Micro Machines entry qualified better than Bigfoot, you still have to consider a Bigfoot loss a surprise in any U.S. Hot Rod Association event. There you see the whole shot. Bigfoot closed the gap near the finish line, but still lost out by a solid half truck length. Absolutely incredible job for the kid. And Fischer will take on the winner of this battle. The Weapon 1 Chevrolet of Jerry Richmond out of Ashtabula, Ohio. Probably the most upset we've ever seen this guy in the first round of competition after a heated starting line staging war with Mike Wine and the Jersey Outlaw Ford. Will take on probably the single toughest truck in U.S. Hot Rod Association competition this year. The machine that we have already featured on ESPN from a variety of angles, not the least of which is the fact that as opposed to the $100,000 high-tech team trucks in this sport, the incredible First Blood Ford was built in Rob Fuch's backyard garage. Fuch spins the heavyweight Ford F-350 around. That's the way to stage up a monster truck. The crowd loves it. Jerry Richmond, for the second time in a row, is stuck waiting on the starting line. But this time around, it was the Weapon 1 driver's initiative to go in first and get ready. Now Rob Fuch, you see the rather heavy-duty neck brace that Fuch has opted to wear this season, wrapped around underneath the helmet. Final. And both trucks bog, but First Blood comes back at the finish line to win in less than 5 feet. For the first time this year on ESPN, we have seen two trucks run into the exact same problem at the exact same point in the course. Regardless, Fuch will advance to the final round to take on the brash new kid, Kurt Fischer, in the Micro Machines Chevrolet.